right, everybody, thanks for joining me here today on this Friday review. Can't wait to get into the new research from the week. We have one on maybe the perfect diet to improve your prostate and reduce prostate cancer risk. Another one on why at least double the amount of diagnosed adults with ADHD seems to be going up and how people are self-diagnosing themselves. We have our Personomics tip of the week. We also have a new herbal extract, which is just coming out that looks like it is 5 times more absorbable than the previous herb. And so we're going to go over that here today, how it's being used. But before we get into that, what I want to share with you right now is what you may have missed on the Cabral Concept this week. So on Monday's show, we talked about how to start to take back control of your life with just a 15-minute block per day of learning some new skill based just for you. And why this is so important. No, it's not just about more discipline or anything like that. It is actually about finding new ways to enjoy life, to bring new adventure into life, and also get to see the progress and the process in what just 15 minutes can do over the course of a year. So check out that show. Tuesday, we went over the cancer gene and how to regulate it. Literally, it's called the guardian gene of the genome. So check this out. It's pretty impressive, very amazing, and how we regulate that. 50% of all people who have cancer, this gene is suppressed. So you want to check out that show. On Wednesday, we went over the brand new vitamin and antioxidant test. The very first test you can run right at home, urine-based lab test, to show you your vitamin and antioxidant levels and even how well your body's methylating. So definitely check that out. And then yesterday, we went over how to know if you're low in vitamin D3 without testing. They give you the signs and symptoms, about 8 of them, that you'll want to watch out for. All right, let's get into our product review of the week. This week, it is a new herbal extract. We've been talking it a little bit over at Equalife. We have a great science-based team, and our head of science actually brought us a new berberine extract. It is not theirs. This is actually written about in the literature right now. And it's been shown now to be 5 times more bioabsorbable. That means more absorbable into the body, able to be used. It lasts 2 times longer. So typically berberine is going to last around 4 hours with a little bit of a half-life itself. That's why we like people to take it breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or at least breakfast and dinner at about 500 milligrams. And this time though, around, it looks like it doubles your natural GLPs, right? Your GLP-1. So why this is important, of course, is if you want to curb your cravings, improve overall blood sugar, improve triglycerides, all of these different things, well, this is one way to do it. So we actually added it to our GLP tone system. I want to talk more about it. But basically, all you're going to do is look on the back of any label, any product that you want, and you want to look for Glucovantage. It is essentially called berberine dihydroberberine. So that is the official name of it, but it is a patented branded form called Glucovantage. So better helping with glucose levels. Let me give you a little bit of the initial research. Yes, it's animal-based studies, but berberine's been around for decades, proven safe, great for the liver, great for the gut microbiome, and so much more. So here's what it shows. A significant 27.5 reduction in body fat compared to the control groups, preserved more lean mass during fat loss, enhanced fat loss results combined with exercise, 22.71% greater reduction in fat. I'm going to link these up. They'll all be at stephencabral.com/3689. Works as a powerful antioxidant, a remarkable 34.2% decrease in reactive oxygen species. That's basically free radicals. Let's see what else it says. A 15% increase in lean body mass, meaning preserving muscle while losing weight, which is something that synthetic GLP-1s don't do. About 30% to up to 40% of the weight loss is actually from muscle and bone. That doesn't happen, especially with Glucovantage. And just a couple more that I think are important because as people get older, a lot of people have higher levels of lipids or cholesterol. So a reduction in LDL cholesterol by 59.8%, which is unbelievable. Triglyceride reduction by 25.5%. Total cholesterol reduction by 40.5. So again, I can't give medical advice, medical treatment, medical cures, medical diagnosis, nor will I say that these results are going to be the exact same results you get. But I will tell you this, I am now starting to use this product as well. I want to feel it. I want to experience it for myself. I'm not looking to lose any more weight. I've achieved the goal that I want there. But what I want to do is look at some of these other benefits as well. And GLP-1 Tone contains just great ingredients from nature. So the berberine that we just spoke about, turmeric, ginger, resveratrol, and EGCG from green tea. So pretty fantastic. Of course, why not put those into my body, get those nutrients? That's what I'm doing. You choose to see if it's right for you. I can't link up the product, but you can find the GLP-1 Tone system at stephencabral.com/shop, or just go to stephencabral.com/3689 to learn more about this research. And then you can decide if it's the right fit for you. All right, Personomics tip of the week. This one is that your body is truly predictable once you understand it. I was just working with a client earlier today. So on Fridays, I do a 3-hour deep dive consultation. I do about 3 hours of prep. Typically, it's right on the nose for that amount of prep. And then I do a 3-hour consultation. And so what we talked about was this, that you're going to see the results that you want probably within 12 weeks to 6 months maximum. I know exactly. I literally just got off the call probably about an hour and a half ago. So this person's plan was a 23-week plan. That's almost 6 months. And so that takes them through the 2 different phases that I wanted to go through. And they're dealing with, I won't even mention specifically what they're dealing with, but of course it's a real health condition. So what I wanted to share is this, you're going to have a playbook. I said, you are prone to this, this, and this genetically. Totally understand. However, you've done so much already with the nutrition you're following, the exercise you're following. What I'm going to do is add that last piece that you're looking for. You're going to get the results you want. We're going to retest after 14 weeks. That was a specific marker that I gave them because of the phase plan they're on. And then what I want you to do is I want you to hold on to this plan, right? You're going to start to add more into your diet. You're going to see how it works for you, doesn't work for you, but we're going to know that this is what dialed it in. This is what worked, and you're always going to be able to go back to it. So like I said, the body is predictable. I even know myself, when I start to slide too far, I've got this plan. Here it is. This is what works for my body. I'm always going to be able to go back to it. So the line I wanted to leave you with is this, is that personalized inputs lead to reliable outputs. What that means is once you know what your body needs, right, in terms of deficiencies and what you have to do to get rid of the toxicities, you know what it can get back out. You know that this is my baseline then energy, my baseline sleep, baseline mood, etc. Like this is what your body functions at when it's optimal. So personalized inputs lead to reliable outputs. Best way to do that, of course, is through at-home integrative health testing. Second best is through all the free questionnaires I give you in Personomics, The End of All Disease. That book you can find all over. So that is that. Let's now get into our research study of the week. I found this to be a fairly interesting one. This is on ADHD. 1/4 of adults think they have ADHD. Thought that was, pretty fascinating. The numbers seemed a little high. I know a lot of people believe they have ADHD, rightly or wrongly, but I understand why. So let me just read you what this found, and I should always give you where the study's out of. So this was done out of researchers at Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, and College of Medicine in Columbus. Okay, so again, this is with a look at this as people are writing into their doctors, survey-wise, this is what they're coming in with. They are saying attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is usually thought of as a childhood disease, but many adults influenced by social media now think they have it because of their attention and focus difficulties. Only 13% have told their doctors of their concerns, raising risks for self-diagnosis and missed opportunity for appropriate treatment. Younger adults, larger users on social media are most likely to think they have undiagnosed ADHD. ADHD symptoms include problems with attention, focus, hyperactivity, and or impulsiveness. So why I wanted to bring this up is that I've worked with many people with true ADHD, children and adults. And when you work with enough individuals, you can say, and you can literally tell by their eyes, you can look at their eyes and expressions and see how challenging and work they're doing in order to stay focused. There is a real thing there. However, I've shared this before. There are also real nutrient deficiencies leading to this. And we've spoken of that. B6, zinc, copper, B vitamins in general, the B9, B2, and B12 for methyl-based donors, omega-3s, vitamin D3. I've seen lives changed just with getting nutrients into the body. Something like a daily activated multi, again, choose your favorite brand. Daily omega-3s, 2 grams a day for adults, not children. And then 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3. Like, just start there, just the basics. That is, I don't even know how much that would be, $3 a day for all of those? Probably about $3 a day, maybe probably $4 a day. It's like a coffee, right, at a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks. Not even a Starbucks. Starbucks would be like $6, $7 a day, right? So that goes a long way. And I just challenge anyone that let's work on all the things that we can do naturally before we turn to the pharmaceuticals, which have their own then host of issues, especially disrupting neurotransmitters and cortisol and leading to then brain-based issues later in life. Okay, so that's first research study. The second one, I always end on a positive one. This one is out of where? This is JAMA, right? JAMA Oncology. So obviously, reputable journal, cancer journal, and this was done on 886 men at Johns Hopkins Medicine in Baltimore. Okay, let's check it out. Recent findings. Men with slow-growing prostate cancer who followed active surveillance treatment and had a more healthy-based diet based on specific recommendations were less likely to have their cancer spread. All right, so what is it? I'm just going to cut to the chase. So here's what they found. They found that those men following an anti-inflammatory nutrition plan that focused on higher fiber foods, fruits and vegetables, some whole grains, lower saturated fat, actually had slower prostate growth. Now, can that diet be improved? Of course it can. But what I want to share with you is this, is that sometimes we get caught up online with the sensationalism of watching someone eat, a steak and 6 eggs on a, beautiful cutting board and 2 avocados with honey drizzled all over it, right? It's like, okay, that is so far from a natural human breakfast. Like, it's just so far from it. Am I against eggs or meat or avocado or honey? No, I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that's not going to be the right diet for many people, especially at that quantity. Quantity and dosage do matter. They absolutely do. Now, for anyone dealing with cancer, that's probably the last thing that I want to give anyone. I want to make sure that they are getting high fiber, antioxidants, polyphenols, things that we know help to slow or stop or maybe even, although I can't say that, help with cancer. So that is what I want to share with you here. This is what the science says, the data says, and I want to make sure that we do, as practitioners, take that oath of first, do no harm, right? Protect our patients and clients. Do right by them, not guess, right? So this is a big part of what we want to share, especially as integrative health practitioners, is what we can do to serve others and serve them with the proper information. So if you or a loved one are just thinking about where do I get started with cancer, I have all free information at stephencabral.com/cancer. You can literally just go through the page. You can see different sources, different nutrition plans, all sorts of different things. It's all free and on that page. So hopefully this has been helpful today. Have an amazing start to your weekend. I'll be back tomorrow with the Cabral House Calls. Take care.